Okay, you guys, this lesson is about angles and a lot of definitions. This particular one is about the word bisect. You guys already know the word bi means two. Bisect, sect means to cut. Bisect. So bisect means to cut into two even pieces. Okay, so when you bisect, say, if you are bisecting an apple, okay, that doesn't quite look like it. I'm going to try again just because I'm going to try to get it to look even. Okay, let's say this is an apple. Trust me. Well, the idea is that you cut it into two pieces, you bisect it, and they're two equal pieces. When you cut a segment into two pieces, basically you're finding the midpoint. Again, a definition, a word, midpoint. And each of the halves of the midpoint is congruent. This is how we mark congruency in a segment. We draw a little dash. You can also draw two little dashes, like just as long as they match. Basically, they go together, see? All right. So in the figure below, ABD is 105. So this is what I personally do. I typically copy it again, even though they gave it to me, or I write on it. But if I'm taking notes, I'm going to write this down. Okay. A, B, D, correct? A, B, D. And they told us that that is 105. So the total is 105. Measure of E, B, D equals 33. So let me use this one, 33 degrees. And it says BE, here's BE, bisects angles CBD. What that means is that these two, okay, this line here, this segment, it's not a ray, notice, because it doesn't have an arrow on the end, but this segment is bisecting this angle CBD. So now these are the same size. They're congruent, which means, well, I won't tell you what it means. You try to figure out what it means real quick. Okay. And then it says find the measure of ABC. So this is what we are looking for. So sometimes I mark the question mark like, okay, what are we looking for? Okay, but the way geometry works is you look at what's given to you. Like this is given to you, this is given to you, and this is given to you. And you think, what can I do with that information? Okay, we want ABC. We want this, ABC. That's the question mark. Well, you can see that ABC is going to be 105 minus this angle, right? That's going to be this. So if the whole thing is 105, this piece right here plus this piece equals 105, right? So then following that logic, what do we need to know? We need to know this chunk. Okay, well, here you go. Then you say, what do I have? I have 33 degrees here. Now I have 33 degrees there. Okay, because that bisects it. So what do we know? We know that this full angle, let me do it a different color. This angle is equal to 66 degrees. So this is 66 degrees. Well, if the whole thing is 105 and this piece is 66, it's 105 minus 66 to get ABC, the measure of angle ABC. So 45 degrees. So the measure of angle ABC equals 45 degrees. I'm going to do another one of these because I think that it's kind of unusual. Also, if you feel like you need practice, pause the video and try to do it yourself and see if you can do it. Then check with my answer when you're done. That's probably the best way to do notes, by the way. So in the figure below, again, they're going to tell you what everything is. JKM is 89 degrees. Oh, JKM. I was looking at N. Okay. This whole thing is 89 degrees. Okay, I'm going to write it in here like that because that way we know it's the big angle. Then it says the measure of angle NKM Okay, I should do this. This is blue. Okay, I'll do this one in red. So NKM equals 23. NKM. So this little piece is 23 degrees. It says KN bisects. So immediately when you see that bisects, and you know that bisects, write 23 because you know the other side is also 23. Find the measure of JKL. So it's basically the same problem we just had. Okay, it's going to be 89 minus these two added together, which is 46. And 89 9 minus 6 is 3, 43 degrees. Okay, next one. All right, this one is about vocabulary, and this is what I'm going to do with the Quizlet. You need to know all of these phrases and what they mean, these definitions. You need to know what a linear pair is. You need to know what vertical angles are. And you need to know the word transversal, okay? When you have two lines or when you have something and it's cut, this is called a transversal. Trans means across, okay? Transversal means it cuts across. So what you're going to see are these problems. And by the way, these are in every test you'll ever take, SAT, ACT, any test, okay? Look at these angles and your job is to name these angles, okay? So you have 4 different sets of angles here. I would recommend clicking on the notes here so that you can grab them. I'm going to do it real quick, okay? 8 and 5. I'm going to do these in pairs. Okay. These are all pairs, by the way. 6 and 7. Notice those are 2. Okay. And let your eye look at these, and can you see? Can you actually just notice? Look at the opening. Can you tell that 2 is congruent to 3 and 4 is congruent to 1? 6 is congruent to 7. See how open it is? And 5 and 8 are congruent. Okay, these sets are called vertical angles. Vertical angles are the angles formed when you have two lines that meet. So in other words, these two lines right here, this is one set of vertical angles, and this is the other set of vertical angles. And they are congruent. And this is going to come back over and over and over again in geometry. You might as well just learn it now. A linear pair is a pair of angles that add up to 180. See the word line right there? Linear is just line R, okay? Forms a line. So angle 2 and angle 4 are a linear pair because they equal 180. You see it? There's so many pairs of linear pairs here. This is a linear pair. This is a linear pair. This is a linear pair. So you can get 4 linear pairs just from one cross. Here's another linear pair, because you can see that this angle plus that angle equals 180. This angle plus that angle equals 180. This angle plus that angle equals 180. Get the idea? That's a linear pair. Okay. And you will also need to know the definition of 2 other sets of triangles. One is called alternate interior angles. Words mean everything in geometry. And alternate exterior angles. Exterior, let's try spelling exterior right. Exterior angles. Consecutive interior angles. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think those are the and vertical angles. Yeah, alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding. I knew there was another one. Corresponding angles. Okay. All right. Make sure you get what these definitions are. So you've got 4 of these. Okay. I'm going to do this as A, B, C, and D, because then I'll be able to illustrate it. So alternate interior angles, alternate interior angles, alternate. What that means is if you have, let me go ahead and see if I can erase this. Not sure. Oh, I can't. Nope, I can't do that. Don't do that. It just wiped it away. Oh, well. Okay, nothing like erasing everything. Okay, guess what? I'll just draw another example. Okay, here we go. Let me get rid of this one too. You can always rewind in your notes and redraw it. Here we go. I got 2 lines. They're not parallel, cut by a transversal. I'm going to name this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, alternate interior angles. That is 2 and 7. Because look, alternate means like alternating means like every other one, kind of like opposite sides. So look, they see how they're not on the same side of the transversal? 4 and 5 are also angle 4, and angle 5 are also alternate interior. B, alternate exterior. Think about it. They're outside, outside on the opposite. Exterior means outside. So look, they're on the outside of the transversal, and they're on the opposite side of the transversal. So angle 1 and angle 8. These are the names, though, if you want to even Google them and get a better picture of it. And 3 and 6. Angle 6. See? Angle 3 and angle 6. Alternate exterior. This is like the inside, and this is the outside. C, consecutive interior. Consecutive. That means they are on the same side. They're on the same side in a row. Consecutive means like one after the other. Ding, 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 the next one. So 4 and 7. See how they are right next to each other? That's consecutive interior. And angle 2 and angle 5. Corresponding angles. Last one. These are a lot more. I'm going to mark those in them in the actual picture. Corresponding angles. What it means is that they're kind of in the same position. Okay. So like 3 is on the left, if you will, of the transversal and above this line. So 3 and 7 are corresponding. So angle 3 and angle 7. And then, let me pick a different color. 8. So what is like 8, right? It's going to be 4 because they're in the same position. Okay. Angle 4 and angle 8. Okay, different color. Then what is corresponding to 6? That would be 2. See, they're both underneath the line and to the right of the transversal. So angle 2 and angle 6. And then lastly is going to be 1 and 5. Angle 1 and angle 5. All right. So again, this is just vocabulary. So that's where that Quizlet is going to help you guys. So it says name 1 pair of vertical angles. That would be 1. This would be another. Any opposite of the V. Vertical angles form a V. Vertical. Do you see the V? Vertical. Okay, 1 pair of angles that form a linear pair. 7 and 8, 5 and 6, 6 and 8, 5 and 7. Angles that are on the same side. Basically, you're looking for any angles that do this. This is a linear pair. They add up to a line. 1 pair of angles that are congruent. That's vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. Look. Okay. So any vertical angles, 2, 3, 1, 4, 6, 7, 5, 8. All of those work. Okay. Next one. And that I think is, no, it's not. Okay. It says solving equations involving vertical angles and linear pairs. So linear pairs, the big thing about them is that they add up to 180. They add, ooh, that doesn't want to delete, y'all. Okay, add to 180. So, like I put in the page before, 1, 2, angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180. And I should have a little m because I mean that I'm actually talking about the measure of the angle. Okay, the big thing about vertical angles is that they are congruent. This is the symbol for congruency. It's an equal sign with a squiggly line above. And remember, congruent means same size. We don't actually care what size, we just know that they're the same size. Okay, it says find the values of x and z. So take a look. You have to go, okay, what do I have? I have two lines that intersect. What did they form? Vertical angles. So we know that this angle is congruent to this angle. You can see it. So we could write z equals 7x plus 78, but we have a problem. Okay, there's a problem. We can't have two variables and one equation. That doesn't work. So we can't do this one yet. We need to do something first. Okay, so look, notice that this one, look at this. These two both have x, and they are a linear pair. So you're going to say 6x plus 50 plus, because that's angle, this angle, plus that angle, 7x plus 78 equals 180. And now it's just an algebra equation to solve. 13x plus 78 and 50 is 8. 128 equals 180. Subtract 128 from both sides and you get 62. Nope, 52. My bad. 52. Because 2 plus 8 is 10, carry the 1, 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, then you divide both sides by 13, and if you think of a deck of cards that has 52 cards, 13 cards to a suit, you will know that x is 4. Otherwise, just use your calculator, it's fine. So now I know x is 4. I've solved one of them. But I can go back now and solve for z, because now I know what x is. So z is equal to 7 times 4, plug it in, formula substitution resolution, 28 plus 78, or z is equal to 16, 1. Why am I having trouble with this? So that's 106. No, it should add, oh yeah. Now you might think like, oh, I got this wrong because it doesn't add up to 180. But remember, we're not solving. We are not solving for this angle, okay? It didn't ask us what this angle was. If they had, we could have plugged in x here. And this angle would be 7x plus 78. And this one is 6x plus 50. And we could do that, you guys. We could check it. 7 times, wait, this one is 106. We already figured that out below, right here. 7x plus 78 is 106. And then 180 minus 106 is 74. Okay, because 10 went, right? So 74. So this one equals 74, or should equal 74, I should say. So the question mark, does it? Well, let's plug in the x. 6 times 4 plus 50. 24 plus 50. Does that equal 74? Indeed it does. So now we know it's correct, that we got our answers correct. The hardest part about this one is not solving that what you think it's going to ask you for. It's just asking you for the values of the variable. So again, look here. I know these two are vertical angles, And I could go 5x plus 85 equals z, but I can't solve that because there's two variables. So instead, look at the linear pair. 5x plus 85 plus 12x plus 10 equals 180. 5x plus 12x is 17x. 85 plus 10 is 95 equals 180. Subtract 95 from both sides. I'm going to be lazy and show my work. Okay, 5, right? 7 minus 9, 17 minus 9 is 8. Divide both sides by 17. And it has to be like 5, right? Because 7 times, so what's 17 times 5? 35, 85. X is equal to 5. Now that we found 5, we can go back and plug it in to find z. So 5 times 5 plus 85 equals z. So 25 plus 85 equals z. And that is 110, I believe. Is that right? 85 plus 15 is equal to 100. And then there's an extra 10. Yeah, equals z. So z equals 110. And if you wanted to check it, you could plug in the x to see if you get 70. Because look, this whole line, you know the whole thing has to be 180. And if we know this piece is 110, that means this should be equal to 70. Let's try it. 12 times 5 plus 10. Is that equal to 70? 60 plus 10? Indeed it is. Check. Okay. Next. I don't think there is a next. Nope. That's it for your notes for today.